Good morning. For the record, has the secretary gone to the reception area to invite any members of the public who wish to attend today's meeting to come to this conference room?
Yes, I have.
I call this meeting of the Board of Acquisition and Contract for September 26, 2019 to order. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Jenkins?
Here.
Mr. Boynton?
Here.
Mr. Saul?
Here. I note for the record the receipt and filing of the secret review prepared by the Planning Department for today's meeting and the minutes of last week's meeting. I understand the Budget Director wishes to speak.
I do. I'll try to speak fast here. All right, so the members of the Board of Acquisition and Contract received a memo from the Commissioner of Social Services declaring an emergency concerning transportation services for homeless preschool and school-age children during the regular school year and summer school, homeless youth and extracurricular activities during both the regular school year and summer school, and children placed in court-directed custody and children in foster care.
I direct the Secretary of the Board of Acquisition and Contract to include the memo from the Commissioner of Social Services as part of the minutes of today's meeting. I understand the Budget Director wishes to make a motion.
I'm supposed to read the memo?
Yes, we have it here.
Isn't the summary okay, or should I?
I was expecting that you would.
The entire, in its entirety?
Yeah, you gotta read the whole memo.
Okay, I'll do that. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Isn't that in the script?
He has it.
It says it.
Yeah, it says it. You could read it right there.
Where's the memo?
No, that's the memo.
This is it right here?
Right.
That's the memo.
Okay, I'll read it.
You gotta read that.
All right.
The rest will be yes.
Here we go. By resolution approved on August 17th, 2017, your Honorable Board authorized the County of Westchester to enter into an agreement with Phoenix Transportation Services, Inc., pursuant to which Phoenix was to provide the county with transportation services for homeless preschool and school-age children during the regular school year, homeless preschool and school-age children during summer school, and homeless youth in extracurricular activities during both the regular school year and summer school, and children placed in court-directed custody and children in foster care for the period September 1st, 2017 through August 31st, 2022 for a total amount not to exceed $14,700,594. Phoenix has recently experienced sudden and continuing financial and operational difficulties. These are evidenced by, among other things, the following. On September 10th, 2019, Marley Ina Kohler, the president of Phoenix, informed DSS staff that Phoenix would be unable to provide the services that afternoon because Phoenix buses were out of fuel and Phoenix could not afford to purchase more fuel. Phoenix advised DSS staff and Alliance One LLC, to which Phoenix previously assigned all of its present and future accounts, was not providing Phoenix with the funds it needed in order to operate. Ultimately, Phoenix did provide the services during the afternoon. Phoenix advised that if the county paid Phoenix's outstanding invoice for the services from the month of August, then Alliance One would, based on receiving that payment, provide Phoenix with operating funds. Subsequently, the county remitted payment to Alliance One based upon Phoenix's invoice for the services of the month of August. Phoenix advised the county that the payment ensured that it would have sufficient operating funds to provide the services through September 20th, 2019. However, on that same day, Phoenix submitted a written request to me dated the previous day that the county consent to the Phoenix agreement being assigned to another party. That letter explained that Ms. Kohler was writing the letter due to unforeseen circumstances that I am experiencing personally and that we need to make sure there is no disruption in service for the children. She closed her letter by writing that, unfortunately, time is of the essence, Commissioner. Notably, I have been advised that on the same day, Phoenix operating as subcontractor for Acme Bus Corp. under a contract between Acme and the county for transportation services for children with special needs for the Department of Health, failed to provide afternoon pickups for any of the children they were supposed to serve. I have been advised that Phoenix then told DOH staff that it would no longer be providing any services under its subcontract with Acme. I've also been advised that based upon the intervention of DOH staff in consultation with Acme, an agreement was worked out between Acme and Phoenix, such that the services under the Acme agreement were to be provided on a going forward basis with Phoenix's involvement. However, I have been advised that despite DOH's ongoing efforts, those services have not been consistently provided over the past several days. Taking the above together with specific financial difficulties of Phoenix, of which the county has recently become aware after receiving paperwork from a judgment creditor, it appears that Phoenix is unwilling and or unable to continue providing the service under the Phoenix agreement for very much longer, and certainly not through its intended expiration date of August 31st, 2022. Accordingly, DSS believes that going forward, it cannot rely upon Phoenix to provide the services under the Phoenix agreement. However, the county cannot go without the service for any period of time. Accordingly, in order to avoid an interruption in services, DSS has determined that one or more emergency contracts will be needed as a stopgap between the end of the Phoenix agreement and the start of one or more new longer-term contracts for the services that will be procured through the normal bid process.
Okay. Is direct the Secretary of the Board of Acquisition and Contract to include the memo from the Commissioner of Social Services as part of the minutes of today's meeting. And just to continue, this added, again, this resolution, again, was the emergency for the transportation services. And as clearly stated by Commissioner McGuire, there was a scenario where kids just weren't picked up in the afternoon from the transportation for the services that we provide, and that's just an unacceptable course of action. So I understand the Budget Director wishes to make 8 motions.
Yes. I move to add item 13 on base ID 71785 to the agenda. Resolution seeking authority to enter into an agreement with People Projects to empower and organize the psychiatrically labeled Inc., whereby People Inc. will manage a crisis stabilization team which will provide pre-arrest, alternative to incarceration care coordination services for individuals in White Plains and surrounding communities with mental health and substance use disorders needs for a term commencing October 1st, 2019 and continuing through September 30th, 2020 for an amount not to exceed $444,353 payable pursuant to an approved budget, with the county having the sole option to renew the agreement for up to 2 one-year periods.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. The Secretary shall add item 13 to the agenda. The next motion, please.
I move to add item 14 on base ID 71789, resolution to exempt from the Westchester County procurement policy the procurement of an agreement with WSP USA Inc. to provide consulting services in support of the county's compliance with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Consent Order, index number CO3-201-803-308-44, involving Westchester County Airport pursuant to Section 3A21 of the Westchester County Procurement Policy and Procedures.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. The Secretary shall add item 14 to the agenda. The next motion, please.
I move to add item 15 on base ID 71790, resolution authorizing the county to enter into agreement number 19-929 in the matter of consulting services in support of the county's compliance with New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Consent Order number CO-3-201-803-308-44, involving Westchester County Airport for a term from July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2024 for an amount not to exceed $110,000 payable pursuant to an approved budget and subject to budget appropriations, with the county's option to renew the agreement for an additional 5 years.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. The Secretary shall add item 15 to the agenda. The next motion, please.
I move to add item 16 on base 71807, resolution seeking authority to exempt from the Westchester County procurement policy pursuant to Section 3A21 thereof, procurement of an agreement with White Plains Bus Company, Inc., pursuant to which it will provide transportation of preschool children with special needs.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. The Secretary shall add item 16 to the agenda. The next motion.
I move to add item 17 on base ID 71780, authority to enter into an agreement with White Plains Bus Company, Inc., pursuant to which it will provide transportation of preschool children with special needs for the period from October 21st, 2019 through August 31st, 2020 for an amount not to exceed $2,149,875.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. The Secretary shall add item 17 to the agenda. Next motion, please.
I move to add item 18 on base 71759, resolution seeking authority to enter into an emergency contract with All County Bus LLC for transportation services for homeless preschool children and school-age children during the regular school year, homeless preschool and school-age children during summer school, and homeless youth in extracurricular activities during both regular school year and summer school. And 2, an emergency contract with White Plains Bus Company, Inc. for transportation services for children placed in court-directed custody and children in foster care.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. The secretary shall add item 18 to the agenda. The next motion, please.
I move to add item 19 on base 71817, resolution to exempt from the Westchester County procurement policy the procurement of an agreement with WSP USA Inc. to provide environmental consulting services in support of the county's litigation regarding the use of aqueous film-forming foams containing per and polyfluoroalkyl substances at Westchester County Airport pursuant to Section 3A21 of the Westchester County Procurement Policy and Procedures.
That was awesome. Is there a second to the motion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. The secretary shall add item 19 to the agenda and the next motion, please.
I move to add item 20 on base 71819, resolution seeking authority to enter into an agreement with WSP USA Inc. to provide environmental consulting services in support of the county's litigation regarding the use of aqueous film-forming foams containing per and polyfluoroalkyl substances at Westchester County Airport for a term from July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2024 for an amount not to exceed $100,000 payable pursuant to an approved budget and subject to budget appropriations with the county's option to renew the agreement for an additional 5 years.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. The secretary shall add item 20 to the agenda. Unless there's any objection, I move the board consider agenda items 1 through 20 with the floor being open for discussion of agenda items by members of the board.
Yes, thank you, Mr. County Executive. I'd just like to say these eight items that we added to the agenda that we'll be voting on. Obviously, we have to immediately move on items that regard transportation of special needs and students that are homeless. That's very important. We can't leave students stranded. However, there are other items here that seem like could have already have been prepared to have gotten on the agenda prior to being added either late yesterday or even this morning.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think we should work to make sure that adequate time is given to those items to put on the agenda at the appropriate time.
Absolutely. I'm going to just call on the county attorney's office just really quickly because the WSP items, the ones for the, I'm not even going to go for it.
PFOA. I was going to
go just go to PFOA and
Yeah.
PFOSs and maybe just to give a little bit of clarity because they were really late in the afternoon yesterday and to be able to get forward. So.
I mean, I can just say that from the perspective of drafting, getting to the point in the process for discussions with WSP and working out the terms of the deal in conjunction with the fact that there's a litigation looming, and it's time sensitive, we need to get the things drafted, and it has to go through our own internal review processes and approvals, and we needed to wait for the county attorney to review everything, and then uploading it into the system just took more time than we anticipated for the law departments too that were done as starters.
Understood. And again, from a fairness perspective, again, it's certainly, Mr. Chairman, it is certainly from the Board of Legislators and certainly from everyone that has to sign off on the resolutions to go through what was ostensibly a fire drill late last night and early this morning to make sure to get that in front of us because of the sensitive nature of the litigation, with the understanding that we are clear that if we can get something done sooner, that we will absolutely do that. And again, it is a litigation matter. Again, appreciate the Board of Legislators' consideration for the item. Again, with the time frames that unfortunately for all of us beyond all of our control, including the county attorney's office with the state and the DEC. Pushing forward on that and making changes even as we speak. So thanks again for the consideration, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Soul, anything?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, so unless there's any objection, I move a vote to approve agenda items 1 through 20.
Second?
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Unless there's any other matters to be discussed or any other four-syllable words, there's any other objection, I move to adjourn the meeting.
Seconded.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned.